Okay.
Okay then.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Let's get ready to rumble, like the classic prog rock epic by
PJ and Duncan.
PJ and Duncan, yeah, who was blinded with paint gun.
Oh, was he?
I think.
I remember it being blind.
Yeah, it was really shocking at the time. That was Baker Grove.
Those crazy kids in Newcastle.
Mm-hmm. Hello, welcome to the prog turds. We're awful. We just prog rockers. They're so close-minded. I hate them.
It's a sense of superiority, I feel, over all other types of music.
But it's just because we're better than everyone else.
Yeah.
That's the real reason.
Yeah.
So today we're reviewing some superior music because we're better. And that is PFM 2, which is pour Un Amico.
Un Amico.
For my friend, yeah. This is the big album that became known outside Italy and all that kind of stuff. They were discovered by Greg Lake. It's their most famous album. Did I just say that? Probably. That cover, you will have seen that cover somewhere. You see the big patchwork things of prog album covers or just album covers, you will see that one. Unlike the other two albums we're doing, I've had this one for 20 years. And yet, I don't feel I know it any better. It's weird, I don't know. Strange. Definite change from the first album. That it is different. It's not the same. They're not moving in the same thing. They've done something. I suppose what we're going to talk about is what have they done. I think they've been listening to prog. The previous album, they've been listening to jazz and folk and modern orchestral music. I think with this album, they've been listening to prog, but maybe listening to Led Zeppelin and whatever. I think that's the difference. Maybe it's less focused, but more sort of sprawling and refined and expensive. It doesn't have the punch and energy of the first album, maybe. It's one of those things where it's good that they've changed. We don't like people to stay the same, But it'd be nice if we had more of the other one as well. It's that kind of thing, isn't it?
What is it you always say, Kev? Expectation is a prison. Well, there is a caveat to that. Unless you expect to be disappointed, in which case, expectation can be a pleasant surprise. I'll give you an example, yeah? On my recent holiday to Thailand, flying back, looking at the many movies, 16 hours to burn, what do I watch? Superman versus Batman's on there. Kev told me, it's a bag of shit, don't watch it. And he's not the only one, a lot of people have told me, it's a bag of shit, don't watch it. But I watched it, and I'll tell you what, I loved it, because I expected to be disappointed. I was actually blown away by it. The baddie at the end was immense, this is, how's he going to be this guy? This guy's awesomely amazing, and it all came together with that spear of kryptonite, which was, anyway.
I was just getting excited by Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. Anyway, I was kind of expecting to be disappointed by this slightly, because you can't, again, I'm sure I mentioned Mr. Bungle a few times last week, but the first Mr. Bungle album was so good, it was kind of inevitable that the second one was going to be a disappointment.
Because it's not the same.
You can't do more of the same. And, I was kind of expecting this, it can't be as good as the first one. And for some reason there was no payoff when I found out that, I was quite right that it's not as exciting, I'd say. It's not like a big revelation like the first one was.
There's an immediacy in the first album. There's a punch.
You're right. Things have changed. But what the first one had was it was very sunny, wasn't it? That was one of the things we commented. There was a definite Italian sunny vibe to it.
Sunshine.
But they seem to be investigating sort of slightly darker tones on this, not like moving style, but
maybe Pompeii.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Well, the previous one was Pisa.
Yeah.
maybe Venice. I've not been to Venice, but maybe Venice.
I also think one of the good things about the first one was they're all wonderful musicians, and I said at the beginning I was a bit like that with the guitar.
Oh yeah.
Well, there seems to be a little bit more on it. The guitar, they choose this sort of like fat, grungy sort of sounding guitar.
Yeah.
Which, when you're playing sort of like 16th notes or 32 notes, the fast stuff, it just sounds like a bloody kazoo. You can't really pick it out. When you got the piano, which is wonderful, wonderful at picking those tones out, and then you got the flute and stuff. Again, the guy who plays the flute is some musician, because you listen to what he's doing. He's got some pair of lungs on there. Yeah, and so I was a bit disappointed with that. And actually, I think it gives it a vibe where it sounds less melodic and more harmonic, which wasn't so great. The great thing about these was hearing the separate voices in a classical sense.
Yeah.
You know, there's a bit at the beginning where the harpsichord comes in, and it sounds sort of like counterpointish, with sort of like for three voices basically, the flute, the piano, and the acoustic guitar. That sounds great, and then they start harmonising a little bit.
Yes.
And it gets a bit, well.
It sounds like prog rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a you know, a stereotypical sense, then it's a bit. There's nothing like that on the first album.
And it's yeah, you're right. It's a move away from that classical thing, which I absolutely loved actually.
Yeah.
To something more unique, and yeah, it's hard to pull out. There are jazzy bits in there, but it's not as defined, is it?
No.
It's like you're right. It's like what they said on the first album. They heard that prog's this type of music where you can stitch all types of music together. So they did that. Yeah. Did this album.
So now it sounds like prog.
And now they sort of thought, actually, maybe we should listen to some prog if we're going to be a prog band. And they've done it and come back and sort of changed things slightly.
Yeah, that intro was exactly what I was going to talk about. That, you know, in the first album we said it's proper. It's proper, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's neoclassical in the truest sense, you know. Whereas the intro sounds like Malmsteen. It's classical, which I really like, obviously, but it's a different thing. It is a different thing. This is it's not Italian anymore. It's Spanish, or maybe Portuguese, or maybe Mexican, isn't it? I mean that, I think, and that as well.
Is that because of the acoustic guitar in there?
Maybe it is.
It gives it a sort of Spanishy vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah. I hear a lot more ELP as well. I said last week the only bit I thought ELP was the piano solo in Dove Quando.
Part 2.
Yeah, Part 2, yeah. Whereas there's lots of ELP-ness on there, I think. So whether that's because they'd already been discovered by Greg Lake, or whether they'd already recorded this when they were discovered by Greg Lake, I'm not entirely sure of the timeline, you know. But yes, yeah, and it's definitely rock. You could play people the first album. Some people, they wouldn't actually think it was rock. They'd either call it jazz or classical or something, or folk. And they wouldn't call it rock, some people. Whereas this, they would call that rock.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's an interesting point. Last week we said, you know, you wouldn't have an issue playing their first album to someone who's not particularly into prog.
Yes.
Yeah, so listen to this is pretty cool. This album is different. I wouldn't feel as comfortable sort of sticking this on unless I knew there were...
Yeah, because it goes straight into that stereotype. Yeah.
Proggy type thing.
Yeah, it sounds like we're being down on it, and I think it's a great album as well. I mean, I really like it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure if you listen to the first album through to the second album, it wouldn't be clear where the album's changed. But
probably, yeah.
With the break, you definitely feel, there's something here. There is an involvement to something else, and it is evolution. It's not sort of revolution. It's not. This sounds jarringly different.
Yeah. You just when you look without reviewing it, we might not have thought that. It's because you've got to review it. You listen in a certain way.
Yeah.
I always thought with Yes, what happened after Close to the Edge was they actually listened to themselves. They went back and thought, wow, God, we're really good. We better do the next one. After Close to the Edge. And maybe that's what happened. They listened to themselves and thought, that's what we are. We like ELP. Right, better do that then. There's even, I mean, one of the last tracks, there's even a bit of a sort of a completely avant-garde but ridiculous thing going on, which surprised me. I forgot that was there.
Yeah, that is quite jarring, that bit. So, yeah.
And then after that, they do some really good with that stuff, which reminds me of Gentle Giant, actually. So that's interesting. Obviously, they decided to do, let's just go completely off the wall, over the top, doing that. Which is, you can imagine Keith Emerson climbing on his Moog thing going, and all that, with his thingies. Yes, they kept the folk, and to a certain extent losing the jazz. They haven't lost the modern orchestral, but, I mean, don't forget, it sounds like more like ELP, but ELP actually, the modern orchestral influence on ELP came not until Brainside surgery. Their influences were really, really conservative originally, because of exhibition. So that I hear that. They must have been listening to ELP. They must have been, I think. I mean, some of the other stuff, I think is it Generale, which is track 2?
Yeah.
I mean, there I hear very fusiony stuff, and the violin comes out. So it's very fusiony, and I like that as well. So that's more Vishnu Orchestra than ELP or anything like that. So that's great, Notice that their covers are actually good. Now, I mean, I don't like that as art personally, but some people would have that on their walls, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would.
Nobody would have Foxtrot on your wall. Interesting, and that reflects the thing when we were saying it's grown up, it's proper. The covers as well. I like the first covers even better. I like the first cover. Yeah, so notice it doesn't say Un Amico on the cover, but it does say the band name. It's a variation on the not putting the band name on the cover. Put the band name on. The album is the picture, not the name. They should be called Pagani Musida Premoli. They're the ones that are writing, but that would be PMP or Pimp. So maybe not. Oh. I said fusion, and actually one of their earliest influences, one of the biggest influences, was a band called Flock, which featured Jerry Goodman, who went on to Mahavishnu actually, and that's the band who got physically thrown off the stage by Peter Grant at the Bath Festival in 1970, so that Led Zeppelin would definitely go on just as Sunrise. And Peter Grant actually physically just took their amps away, and it was probably he was right in the middle of it, and it just right, finished, get off. And that's that band. I thought it was great. I never knew what band it was. So, I think we've struggled to review this, which is interesting.
Yeah, we were positively glowing about the first album, weren't we?
Yeah, and this is another brilliant album, but I don't quite know what I'm saying other than it's different.
Yeah.
And it sounds like we're not down on it at all. It's a brilliant album. So yeah, very difficult. Don't forget the next album. It was nearly a year later it was released. We're not going to review it because basically Greg Lake discovered them on tour in Italy and signed them to Manticore. So they got Peter Sinfield in to mostly re-record. It's actually a compilation album of the first two albums with new vocals with lyrics written by Peter Sinfield. So I mean that's a soft reboot. So it's compilation. So we won't do that. We're going to do the next one and it's the Italian version. And I think E Fiesta is on it. That's got to be the most Italian sounding title ever. Is Retold Celebration, and that's their famous song. That's the one that was played on like US radio. And when I remember last week I said about how the sort of rock bits are the up. That's what I was talking about. It's that up major key keyboard melodic rock thing. It's that thing. So that's probably what people think when they think of PFM, which is not completely accurate, maybe. So we're not going to do that one. It has one new track on it, I think. So all requests to do it, just to clarify, when we met with you will watch a review of Lisola Di Niente or I break your face. I'm very difficult to egg this. It's 4 or 5, but yeah. I don't know.
This is the problem, because last week we gave 5 eggs. Yeah.
It was almost 5.5. It was a high 5.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a low 5.
Yeah, so it's like you are kind of pushing to think 4 eggs.
Yeah.
Because it's not as good as the previous album, but it's
pretty good. Yeah. But yeah, I suppose really what the eggs mean is relative to the other albums we're doing in that band.
Yeah.
That's all they mean, isn't it? So that one and then that one.
It is now anyway. That's the decision going forward.
Yeah. In which case it's full because we like it. We still prefer the first one, even though this is very good. That was weird. That was a weird review. Right, see you next week for Lisola Di Niente. Something.